Okay.
Hello and welcome to the REBT Advocates with Dr. Michael R. Adelstein of 3minutetherapy.com. You can find this book, 3-Minute Therapy, Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life at therebt.life. And me, Tommy Bateman, I'm a licensed professional counselor in Virginia. You can email us both at rebtadvocates@gmail.com and give us your hate, your likes, your questions, and your praises. We love it all. Today we have an email that went straight to that email I just mentioned. And we are very appreciative of it, Zuza. But before I get started on that, Michael, got anything going on?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention I'm Dr. Michael Edelstein. I have 40 years experience helping people with REBT, rational emotive behavior therapy. And my practice and my book, 3-Minute Therapy, is in the description below. Thanks,
All right.
Tommy.
Thank you. So Zuza really got to the heart of the matter and something very crucial and crucial to the entirety of REBT. I think if this didn't work, then us REBTers may be in trouble. So the question is, B to C, beliefs to consequence, is that always accurate? So here goes the email. Dear REBT advocates, I've enjoyed watching your videos on YouTube and find them very interesting. Hey, thanks. I'm trying to come around to the concept that our beliefs make us feel emotions and not the events themselves. But does that really work for every emotion all the time? Well, what about when someone close to me dies? Do I make myself feel sad because of my beliefs? Isn't the event itself sad, and wouldn't it make me sad? What if someone is abusive to me? Wouldn't that make me feel bad and hurt and not my thoughts about what had happened? I mean, no one likes being yelled at and called names, right? I would appreciate if you could expand more on the link between B and C. I also, how do you deal with someone who keeps telling you that you make them angry, sad, worthless, etc.? There's no point explaining to them that they make themselves feel whatever they do, I think. But what is best skill that I can use to cope with someone like that? I find situations like this frustrating because I know they are wrong, and yet they accuse me of doing something that I am not. I would appreciate your help in shedding some more light on the issues I have raised. Thank you, Zuza. Great couple of questions there. So, the link between B and C, is that true always? Michael, let's knock that one out.
Oh, yeah. Um, yes, it's always true. You always make yourself feel your emotions from your thinking. There's no bypassing your brain. And this is human nature. There's no escaping human nature. The principle is the same no matter how bad, obnoxious, execrable the event is you're responding to. There's the mediating cognition that causes your sadness or joy. For example, let's suppose you're right, Aziz, that it is the situation. Then there would be no reason to know the person died. The person died, you didn't know about it. You'd feel sad if the event caused your emotion.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously it means knowing the event, and knowing is a cognition. It's what's going on in your brain. And then in order to have an emotion, it's knowing plus an evaluation. This is good. This is bad. This is awful. This is glorious. So the principle is no matter how bad the situation, human nature is always the same. Our emotions come from our thinking.
And let's take also, I like to add another layer on that. No matter how bad a situation, well, it takes a moral agent or some sort of agent to say something is bad or good to begin with. You know, before it's just what happens. Someone dies. Is that good or bad? It's not good or bad until I say it is, or you say it is, Michael. It takes one of us to label it good or bad, but bam, right there we have it, a cognition. Before we even get to the emotion about the events. Yeah, you can't, even if it's a split second, like a gunshot and you're scared, there's a thought process behind it. Gunshot can hurt me. I don't want to get hurt. Scared. It's you can't get past it. Cognitions are always there in between the event and the emotional consequence.
That's right. That's a very good example with the gunshot, because if you're at a shooting range, there are going to be lots of gunshots,
Yep.
and there'll be very few, if any, people who feel scared. So obviously, it's not the gunshot that causes your emotion, but you're thinking about it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So no, and that is one thing, and I put that out to a challenge to anybody. Find me an emotion that doesn't pass through a cognition, and you've disproven a large part of REBT. That you have dealt a blow, in my opinion. I challenge you to do it because I would like to know if it's out there, but I have yet to find that to be the case, Michael.
You know, there is this idea out there, and I just saw another example of it, of these neuroscientists who are claiming that feeling traumatized comes directly from a so called traumatic situation. But as you're saying, Tommy, no matter how bad the situation, even a gunshot, it's always your thinking that causes your traumatic emotions or any other emotion, never the situation itself.
No, and I think the neuroscientists are accurately pointing out to a change in the brain and the neural pathways. Whereas, I hear the gunshot and I immediately start running. Well, I mean that's because a neural pathway was created, but I that immediate started running only seems immediate to us. But really, what happened is there's a thought of danger, danger, I'm in danger, must get out of danger, and you start running. You still had a thought process behind it. Yes, the brain has changed in traumatic events or events we consider traumatic, but it doesn't mean that the thinking has just gone away. I understand for folks that deal with trauma, it's difficult to reformat their thinking and their quick reactions and their use of the fight or flight reflex. Uh, uh, I know that's hard to train out of them, but it's possible to do.
Okay, very good. Shall we move on to the next question?
Absolutely. So the next question had to do with how do you deal with somebody that keeps telling you make them sad or angry or whatever it is that you are the cause of their emotions. Do you really just tell them no? You're making yourself sad by having irrational beliefs about what's going on.
Exactly. Yeah. And a way to deal with them is first acceptance.
Hmm.
Accept the fact that their words can't diminish you as a person. So if they say you're making them angry, you're a bad person for doing it, you are still the same person you were before they made this claim. And you can try to influence them to change. You don't control anyone. You can try to influence them to change if you want to try. And there are various strategies for influencing people. And the bottom line option is you can end the relationship if you find their words more obnoxious than you want to deal with.
Hmm.
So, and of course, you would find situations like this are frustrating, but that doesn't mean the situation is frustrating you. By the way, how emotions are caused are not up to popular vote. So, if you find 100 out of 100 people have a certain emotion, say when they hear a gunshot, they're all get scared. That doesn't mean the gunshot caused their emotion. It doesn't matter how many people react the same way. Human nature is not bypassed. It's still our thinking that causes our emotions.
Absolutely. And it's not. And then, of course, you have those outliers that have trained themselves, such as law enforcement and military that have trained themselves to react to those sorts of things. Having been a law enforcement officer, I've gone through a lot of training where you run to the sound of bullets. At that point, you're overriding your fear and you're thinking, hey, this is dangerous. I must not be in danger. And thinking, oh, there's danger over there. And my job is to stop it. And that's what I want to do. So there was my thinking overriding the desire to flee and moving towards the sound of the danger. It's we can do that.
Yep, yep, very good example.
Yeah, but yeah. Also, I think regarding that second question, when it comes to how do you get someone to stop doing that? Well, again, as Michael said, you can influence. You can't really make them do anything. Just like that, you're not making them feel anything. And I think a lot of people kind of hear what REBT therapists say. Um, and sometimes I do blatantly tell folks that come to me, it's not what's happening to you, it is what you're thinking about, the events that lead to your emotions and your behaviors. Now, here's the thing, my relationship is a client and therapist relationship where they're coming to me to listen to me. They're already kind of open to what I'm having to say. So I can be pretty blunt with that. And it goes very well because, again, that's the nature of the relationship. Now, if you're dealing with somebody that is a spouse or a friend or a child, maybe that's just not going to work because the nature of the relationship is different and we have to take different tactics. And when they're open to talk about those certain things, and you'll know it better than me, that's when you can kind of overview emotions and teach them RBT yourself.
Okay, very good. I had one final comment, and then
Sure.
I'll give you the final word, and
Mm,
that is I'm part of a 3-minute therapy Twitter account, and it's called 3 Min Therapy because 3-minute therapy are too many letters for Twitter. So it's 3 Min at 3 Min Therapy. And a recent tweet of mine was a quote from Albert Ellis about this. And he said, quote, "Let's suppose somebody abused you sexually. You still had a choice, though not a good one, about what to tell yourself about the abuse." So that's basically what Tommy and I are saying.
yep. It is. It sounds harsh, but it's not. It's truly not. It empowers you, the person that was a victim of something that you didn't like happening to you, or something others would call just absolutely terrible. Um, it gives you the power to choose your reaction to it. So I don't like to say they're a victim of your circumstances because that really does take away your
Right,
power.
especially when it comes to emotions.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. All right, that's all I got, Michael. Let's take it away.
Okay. Okay. Yes. So, in concluding, I just want to mention that we, as Tommy said earlier, we welcome your comments and any subjects you'd like us to discuss, any disagreements, anyone who wants to volunteer to come on with us with a problem, we'll cure you in 30 minutes or less. And please, if you enjoy these episodes, donate to our Patreon account, give us a like, and subscribe to the REBT Advocates to stay on the rational side of life.